Hello everyone, this is Nirmal here for Technique, and in this video we'll do a detailed camera review of the Lumia 540. So the 540 was the successor of the popular 535, which had a 5 megapixel rear camera as well as a front camera. But on 540 there are a couple of upgrades. One is the HD display, and second is we have a 8 megapixel rear camera along with LED flash and a front facing 5 megapixel camera. So spec wise, the Lumia 540 dual SIM is an upgrade to the Lumia 535, but having said that, the pricing is not really great. The Lumia 640 with again the 8 megapixel rear camera is priced lower than this model. So let's have a quick look at the camera. So this has an 8 megapixel rear camera. So let's open the camera interface. So the camera interface is typical Lumia camera. So we have all the options on the top. If you just slide here, you have these options: white balance, so you can just control it manually. You can have the focus, then there is ISO. You can go from auto, 100 goes up to 1600. Then you have the shutter speed. It can go to 1/8000 or it can go to 1 second, that's the maximum. Then you have the exposure values. You can just change the exposure. So that's the interface, and if we just slide it back, we have these options as well. So these you can just minimize the interface as well. You also have the option to enable or disable flash. Then if you go to the settings, you have the lenses, front facing camera. You can switch to front facing camera, so you can see the camera here. It's a 5 megapixel shooter. Then you have the timer options. You can set the timer from 2 seconds, 5 seconds and 10 seconds. So that's handy if you're taking shots with timer. Then you have the bracketing. Then you have the settings. So we have the focus assist light. You can set by flash, framing grids. Then the aspect ratio. If you go to video, the maximum video resolution is 848 by 480. That's pretty low resolution. That's just FWG resolution. Now we have seen the camera interface. So this is a typical Lumia interface. So everything is included. Now the disappointing aspect with this device is that it does support only 480p recording. That's pretty low standards, considering that this is a device priced around the 10k. You need a full HD recording, because almost all Android phones in this price category have full HD video recording, and this is not even HD recording. This is just 480p. That's pretty low standards. Now let's go to the camera samples taken with this device. So first up, let's see the daylight shots. So as you can see from the daylight shot, the colors look pretty good, almost like natural colors. The clarity of the photos is also pretty decent, but the sharpness levels are not that great. You can see if you zoom in, you can see there is noise in the photos even in daylight. The 8 megapixel camera on this device does not have that clarity when compared to the 640, which also supports the 8 megapixel camera. The only difference being the Snapdragon 400 and the Snapdragon 200 chipset on both these devices. But overall, we would say this is a pretty decent camera. With daylight shots, you can see there is good amount of colors as well. The colors, the overall clarity is decent, although the sharpness levels are not that good, and you can see the photos goes blurry or noisy when if you zoom in, and some of the photos does have noise even in daylight. So that was the daylight shots. Now if you look at the close-up shots, you can see close-up shots have come pretty good. There is good amount of detailing. The colors look pretty natural and spot on with natural colors. Again, there is noise, but much lesser than what you saw on the normal photos. So the close-up shots have come pretty good, and there is good amount of clarity as well. So this is a pretty decent camera in this price point. We wouldn't say this is probably the good camera in this category, because a lot of these phones in the sub 10k price point have now 13 megapixel rear cameras, and they perform really well. So in that aspect, the Lumia 540 with an 8 megapixel shooter definitely lacks a lot of clarity in terms of overall performance. So that was the daylight as well as the close-up shots. Now moving on to the low light photos. So as you can see from the low light photos, again and the clarity is not that good, but still much better than a lot of other Android phones which do not have good low light abilities. So if there is pretty good amount of lighting, the Lumia 540 does perform pretty decently. And again, there is noise in the photos when taken with low light, but still an acceptable quality, because this is not really a high-end phone. This is just a mid-range phone, although slightly better than a lot of Android phones out there with the same 8 megapixel camera. And the flash does work pretty well, and it is able to light up the object, and it's uniformly spread and does produce pretty good shots. So that was the low light imaging abilities of the Lumia 540, although not really the best. It's still a decent shooter in this price point. Now talking about the front camera, that's a 5 megapixel selfie camera, and it also has a selfie app. So when we reviewed the 535, we said the 5 megapixel front camera is pretty good for selfies and video calls, and the same holds good for the 540 as well. The front camera does produce pretty good shots. You can see the colors look pretty good, and the overall clarity of photos is also very good. So the selfie camera, 5 megapixel camera, is pretty good in this price point. Now talking about the video recording, that is one area where the phone is not really that great. You can see this is a 480p recording, and the clarity is very poor. We would have at least expected an HD recording, if not the full HD recording, which is now available on most of the Android phones in this price point. So the 480p recording isn't good on this device, and this device isn't suited for video recording. So that was the camera review of the Lumia 540. So all in all, we can't say this is a very good device in terms of the camera performance. We would always suggest the Lumia 640 if you're not really specific about the 5 megapixel selfie camera. The rear camera performance is much better on the 640 than the 540. So both these devices are dual SIM, so we would ideally suggest the 640 if you're not really particular about the 5 megapixel selfie camera. And we can't really say this is a good camera. We can't really suggest this phone for a camera usage, because a lot of Android devices have 13 megapixel shooters in this price point and perform well as well. So this is just a very average camera with just basic performance, not really that great performance. So that was the camera review of the Lumia 540 dual SIM. Hope you like this video. If you have any queries, drop in a comment and we'll be glad to help you out with your queries. If you like this video, do hit the like button and also subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day.